So shocking things have happened in the NCAA. James Madison. I know James Madison's probably not a school that a lot of people have heard of, let alone heard of for football reasons. But they have been denied for a postseason waiver. Now you're probably wondering, what does that mean? So James Madison came up from FCS to FBS. They're in the Sun Belt Conference. And what happens is when you have this transition, the NCAA has this dumb rule where you need to be, I think it's 2 years. You have to have 2 years under your belt.
Make sure people know this is like FCS is old 1AA. FBS is Division One, the old what they call Division One. It's not like Division 2 or 3, but it's 1AA to Division One is basically what the jump is. And yeah, you're right. You have a 2-year window where you're not allowed to compete in postseason events.
Which, honestly, most schools, it doesn't really matter. Like if you're stepping up to the big boy level, to the Division One, right? You're not expected to be good. It's going to take you a few years before you can compete. Well, James Madison said, "Hold my beer." And they're undefeated this season in the Sun Belt.
Yep.
Now, they are bowl eligible, technically, based off record for being undefeated.
Yep.
And they have a lot on the line this season. And so they're saying, hey, we're 10-0. We're 6-0 in the Sun Belt. We're ranked 18th in the AP poll. They can't be ranked in the college football playoff because they are ineligible for the postseason.
Yeah.
So the college football playoff committee does not rank them.
Which is bullshit.
But they're ranked. They're one of the top teams in the country, right? They would whip the shit out of my Cougars for sure. All right, because my Cougars suck and I hate them and I hope they lose tonight. We'll get into that later. But they petitioned the NCAA and said, hey, listen, we want to know, we understand there's this rule. Can you waive the rule and let us at least participate in a bowl game this season? And the NCAA said, nah, you got to wait your time. How do you feel about that, Cricket?
Man, the NCAA, what this tells me is the NCAA is losing their grip. And we've been slowly seeing that for a while now with all the NIL stuff and everything. The NCAA is not what it used to be. They've always kind of thrived on that power. I can tell you what to do and all these things. They've already screwed one of these kind of cases up this year with the Tez Walker stuff down at North Carolina. The kid had played a season at NC Central. Didn't even play that season. It was the COVID year. So he didn't even play it down. He transfers to Kent State, plays out there, and wants to transfer back home to North Carolina to help take care of his ailing grandmother. And so he did transfer back home. Well, they, for whatever reason, I don't know the particulars on the rules, but he wasn't allowed after the double transfer or whatever. He wasn't allowed to compete immediately at North Carolina. He was going to have to sit out this whole year. They petitioned because there was extenuating circumstances that brought him back home. And the NCAA said, no, we're not going to give him eligibility. Finally, after about week 4, the head guy in the NCAA stepped up and said, hey, this is bad. We're doing this kid wrong. This is affecting this kid's entire life. Could potentially affect millions of dollars on draft stock and all that stuff. This kid deserves to be able to play football. He hasn't done anything wrong. And they overturned it. They allowed him to play. So they wound up getting it right after really screwing it up and taking a lot of flack from the media. Well, they're screwing this up too, man, because it's a really stupid rule that if you're going up in divisions, you're not gaining any advantage right there. All those teams in that division higher than you have already been recruiting better players and all this stuff, got better facilities, better resources, all that stuff. You're not gaining an advantage by moving up divisions. And you have to sit out 2 years from postseason play when – and a lot of these teams that transition up, they'll play like half of a 1AA schedule and then half a Division I schedule. James Madison did not do that. Last year in their first year, they played an entire Division I slate, actually won the Sun Belt East Division, and still weren't allowed to go to a bowl game or whatever. So they petitioned back in the summer and were like, hey, I got a clip here of the coach talking to Pat McAfee a little bit. I want to show you guys and kind of get his response, about a minute and a half long. And, they petitioned back in the summer to try to go ahead and have this. They knew they were going to have another good squad, have a chance to do this again. And they wanted to petition and to be able to go play in the postseason. It's stupid that they can't. And the NCAA has once again denied this request, and they're hoping that maybe the head guy will come over and kind of do what he did with the Tez Walker stuff if they give him enough flack. But this is bullshit, man. How do you feel about this?
I just want to talk about this for a second. I think it's bullshit. I do. I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid because this statement right here, I'm going to read this to you. And it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. This is what the NCAA is hiding behind. They said, requirements for members transitioning into FBS are based on factors beyond athletic performance. They are intended to ensure schools are properly evaluating their long-term sustainability in the subdivision. Sponsoring sports at this level requires increased scholarships, expanded athletic compliance efforts, and additional academic and mental health support for student athletes. And the transition period is intended to give members time to adjust to those increased requirements to positions student athletes at those schools for long-term services or long-term success. That's a big old word jumbo mumbo shit that says nothing. It makes no sense. Like, I get that you want to help transition whatever, and that schools usually aren't good. But when your school is good, they need to reap the rewards, because guess what? The big thing behind all this is James Madison, if they were eligible, would be the team that gets to go to a New Year's Six bowl.
Yeah.
They're the Big Five conference that gets selected, right?
Group of five,
or Group of Five. Yeah, they're the Group of Five team that would get selected because they had finished highest in the rankings.
Yep.
And you know what sucks about that? You want to talk about helping a team out, helping a school out, helping the mental health of athletes, which is fucking bullshit that you even put that in there. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
A fucking pussy ass fucking athletic coordinator or super administrator fucking wrote that in there. It's a fucking person that never played sports in their fucking life. Yeah, they never fucking played sports in their life, or if they did, they sucked at it. like you want to help all that out? Let them go to the New Year's Six bowl. If they were good enough to go to not only win their conference, but go to the New Year's Six bowl. That's so much money that comes back for the university that will help with all that stuff. It makes no sense, because that will help with every single fucking thing that they listed here. That's why it doesn't make sense. It's like, we need to ensure that they're not allowed to do this because blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, you give us money, we'll be able to have more resources, increase our scholarships, increase our facilities, make it better, make us better and more competitive in recruiting. You know what also is bullshit about this, Cricket? They're not allowed to compete in the conference championship. These guys might whip everyone's ass in the conference, and then when the conference championship game comes around, they say you don't get a play in it.
Yeah.
What?
And
what?
And this is
I would be embarrassed, Cricket. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I would be embarrassed if I was the two teams that got selected to go instead of James Madison. And then if whoever wins it, I'd be embarrassed. I'd be like, no, we didn't win it because James Madison whooped our ass.
They already whooped our ass on our home field or something.
Yeah, and we weren't even able to try to redeem ourselves in a rematch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree 100%, man. You talk about that statement right there. I mean, this is classic NCAA, using 100 words to say nothing. And, here's the thing. You're the governing body. You have all the control in the world. Just because you made it a rule, it was stupid when you made it a rule, but just because you did doesn't make it right. It's outdated. How many rules have we seen throughout the course of the last 10 years or so that we realized are about 30 years out of date? They were probably stupid when you implemented them, but they're about 30 years out of date now. Why can't somebody stand up that's got any sense? They got, that's what the coach says here in a little bit. You got 3 or 4 committees deciding on this stuff. You can't get 2 or 3 people to agree on something. How are you going to get 3 or 4 committees to come to a unanimous decision on this? And it's like, it's ridiculous, man, because it's not only you talk about the program, the money you get from the New Year's Six Bowl, that goes to the entire athletic program. They're not just putting that into the football program. It goes to swimming. It goes to soccer, softball, baseball, wrestling, whatever. It goes to all those sports to help give those student athletes, which is what these kids are. They are student athletes just like everybody else. They're doing all the same things, getting up doing the workouts, making the grades, doing all the things you have to do to play Division I college sports. And why should they not get the same chance as everyone else does? It's not their fault the school decided to transition then. They're not worried about that. They're going out and playing the teams, the opponents you put in front of them. They're working hard to defeat those opponents, and they're doing that. And they should have the opportunity to go represent their school, represent their conference, and make that money to help generate the athletic program all over it. I mean, everybody gets some money off of that, and it makes the entire school better.
I mean, this is just stupid from the NCAA. Like right here, we see Virginia AG, the Attorney General for Virginia, is threatening legal action on behalf of James Madison football against the NCAA, which they should. The NCAA has been getting their ass handed to them. Good. The Supreme Court has already smacked them down twice. They're going to smack them down again for the antitrust stuff. A lot of people don't like the NIL stuff, but the Supreme Court said, hey, yeah, NCAA, you don't get to keep all this money. You need to share it with your athletes, which I'm fine with. I know a lot of people don't like NIL, don't like all this transfer shit, whatever, but I'm more in favor of the players making money, because there's a lot more players out there that don't get to make that money. That you just assume that they'll make it in the NFL. They won't. A lot of them don't. Right.
You can't.
A lot of them. And I look at Tim Tebow and Johnny Manziel. Yeah, they got paid in the NFL, but like those guys would have made way more money in college football. You know what I mean? Like they if they were able to get paid, they brought how much money into their universities? So I like to see this. This is kind of like I think this is nice. I think this is just political though, because yeah, it's cool that the attorney general is going to sue the NCAA. It's not going to. There's not going to be this isn't going to get resolved before bowl season. So I feel bad for the players because litigation takes forever, right? So maybe the NCAA eventually gets exposed. Hopefully, this threat though, if the NCAA is smart and don't want to get exposed for the frauds they are and the fucking corrupt, dirty little bastards they are, that we all know they are, but they don't want to get exposed actually in the court, like with legal filings. Maybe they'll say, "Fuck it, we'll return. We'll change our mind and give James Madison their dues." Right? But they should. They absolutely should. They probably won't though, which is stupid.
I hope they'll look at it the same way they did the Tez Walker situation and realize that time's not stopping for anybody. You only have so much time to do this. The seniors and those people like that it's their last season. Most of them, it's their last hoorah. Most of those players are not going to the NFL. Let's be real. There are not only so many players in the NFL. So most of them is their last hoorah. And they've done everything right the whole way up to deserve a chance to represent their school, their state, their conference, all that stuff. They've earned that right. And it's not fair when you, and once again, we talked about the Big Ten, getting Harbaugh out and all that stuff and how it takes away from revenue in the big games like Ohio State, stuff like that. Why would you not want the best group of 5 team playing in that New Year's Six bowl?
It just doesn't make any fucking sense. It's stupid.
At all.
It's stupid.
It literally is just ignorant.
Yeah. It's people stuck in their ways that just we got to follow these laws. These are the rules. And that's their other defense too. They're like, you shouldn't sue us. You should come in the off season and maybe recommend changing these rules and we can make rule changes. Like, no, maybe motherfucker, maybe you should just sit there and realize the rule's fucking stupid and let James Madison play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what
just do it for the kids, dude. Maybe James Madison goes out there and plays a Tennessee. Well, something happened there.
I did. I pulled that up just a minute. I pulled the video up.
Oh, okay. I would say, but like maybe they get their ass kicked in the New Year's Six. But who cares, dude? They deserve to be there. They deserve to have that shot. Let's listen to what Pat McAfee had to say here.
Yeah, this is the coach, and we'll probably have to listen to the ad real quick. Y'all, it'll be a few seconds, but he basically is just. We'll turn it down while we're doing that. Well, what are your thoughts on this thing?
There we go. Now I can
let them know.
It's just amazing.
I'm so glad this is going into the video. It's fine. We're good. We're workshopping this thing, people. This is
I guess I should have got the ad done before. Huh?
Yeah, before we pulled up, it's fine.
Go to the Hilton.
It's okay. Yeah, Hilton, free ad. There you go, Hilton. There you go. Sponsor us, by the way. There you go.
Time this year where you thought the NCAA was going to make the right decision as your team continued to climb and become undefeated. Was there hope and optimism at any point this year that the NCAA would maybe see what you guys have built and give you a little bit of love for the bowl season?
Let's just pause it, make sure we don't get copyright right there.
I just want you to pause every now and then. I don't think Pat McAfee's show, but I don't think him, but ESPN
will. That's what I'm saying. We're just going
to
take no chance.
Assholes. So he's asking Coach here, like, what's his thoughts on everything? Yeah, let's see.
I thought they'd make the right decision last summer when we petitioned the first time because we were the first team to ever make the transition in 1 year, play a full FBS schedule. And
so, yeah, he's basically just laying it out.
Coach look like he has got some wisdom behind him, huh?
And
looks like a smart motherfucker.
For the record, game day will be at James Madison this weekend. Game day's at James Madison Appy State this weekend. So
you got why McAfee's down there.
Yeah, and you're sending game day, which is the top college football preview show, all that Saturday mornings. It has been for 25 plus years now. You're even sending that show there. So you're telling me the team's pretty good. So how dumb does the NCAA look sitting there saying, oh, that's fine. You're going to do all this stuff for them and have a whole week-long celebration, but then you're not going to let them play postseason football? Are you kidding me?
Go to 85 scholarships and win the Sun Belt East Conference.
Is that good?
They did in year one. That's decent.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Pause it. That's the other thing, too. Pause that real quick. That's the other thing is, like, they had success last year.
Yeah, and with fewer scholarships. Apparently, when you come up to the division, they also take scholarships away from you. How fucking
you don't get the full 85? Yeah, and they just said, okay,
with lesser scholarships, playing a full Division I schedule, which most of the teams that transitioned up haven't done. So he tried to meet you in the middle and try to be reasonable with the whole thing, and is still competed at the highest of levels. I mean, the highest level in that conference. And what?
It's gross.
I thought maybe there was some pressure on them to make the right decision this time around. And because they screwed up the Tez Walker thing and the head guy stepped in and basically made the right decision for him.
So right there, I mean, he's telling you about the other instances this year where they've screwed this thing up and somebody came in over their heads and said, okay, here, we're going to do the right thing. We're not going to do the rule or whatever we have said that's stupid already. We're going to do the right thing. And that's what the NCAA should do here.
I thought he would do the same thing for us. But, you know, when you have 4 committees ruling on something like this, it's hard to get 3 people to agree on anything, yet 4 committees. But you know what? When you can hide behind a committee, like I wish when I was asked.
Listen to him cheering, man. Listen to him cheering when he talks about it. He throws some shade at the NCAA and the crowd gets hyped for him.
I wish when I was asked, like, why did you punt? I could say my subcommittee recommended I punt.
So, yeah, I like what he's saying right there, man. I mean, I'm totally on board. I love seeing a coach like that that's going to go and support his guys and, you know, have their back right there. Because, I mean, this is just ridiculous. I can't believe this is actually this is highway robbery on these guys.
Let us know what you guys think below in the comments of this video. Let us know. Should the NCAA change their mind? Should they let James Madison in? Obviously, yes, they should. Let us know what you think below. James Madison deserves to go to a college football bowl game, especially one of the New Year's Six games. All right, especially with all this. I love that everyone is backing them and that this is getting attention because the NCAA needs to get exposed. Let us know what you think in the comments below and come over to sportspicks.locals.com and let us know over there. And we'll catch you guys on the next video.